What's up, everybody? It's your boy True Element 78 in the building with.
Your reigning and defending Mondo Lucha Hall of Famer, the one and only, the X-Man, Xavier Mustafa.
And I am very tired and very confused at this card, Chris Black.
And today is, it doesn't matter what today is, but today we bring you guys your Clash of Champions 2019 predictions. Let me rephrase that: WWE Clash of Champions 2019 edition predictions. We got 11 matches on the card, and we're going to go through each match, give you guys our predictions, maybe do a little fantasy booking, but we're going to try to get in and out of here in under 30 minutes for you guys. Be sure to check out our podcast that's going up on Saturday, where we go more in depth on the storylines that have propelled these matches to the pay-per-view. But let's get right into the card. We're kicking things off with the Cruiserweight Championship being defended by Drew Gulak, and he's going up against Humberto Carrillo versus Lince Dorado. Who do you have, Xavier Mustafa?
I'm going to roll the dice on Lince Dorado.
Man, I'm going to be honest. I have not been really following 205 Live, but I like Drew Gulak, and I don't think they should take the title off of him yet. I'm going with Drew.
I'm going to go with Drew Gulak as well. Still don't see any reason to take the title off of him. He's the biggest name in 205 Live right now, and that's the way it should be when you're the champion. I hadn't even heard of Humberto Carrillo. I know he beat Orny Lorcan to become number one's contender, and I don't think Lince Dorado needs the belt right now. Next match on the card, we got the Women's Tag Team Championship being defended by Mrs. Bliss, Nikki Cross, and they're going up against Fire and Desire. Who do you guys have? I'm going to go first, actually. I'm going to say that Bliss and Nikki keep it.
I'll second that for sure. Yeah, no. Fire Desire, no. No. Nah.
They would be better
I'm
than the
gonna
Iconics. I'll say that, though.
uh, I'm gonna
Oh,
be the detractor here, and I'm gonna say I think Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville are gonna walk out with the belts.
You
why
know,
is there hating on the Iconics?
I'm picking
What's that
Bliss.
about?
I'm picking Bliss and Nikki just for the fact that their story hasn't really been progressing. They're kind of becoming more babyface now, and I don't see the payoff happening at Hell in a Cell for the Nikki and Bliss storyline, or possibly even Survivor Series. I think they can ride this out until Royal Rumble with them, whatever story it is that they plan to tell. So next up, we got the SmackDown Tag Team Championship being defended by the New Day, taking on the Revival. Chris Black.
Oh boy. Okay, so my first instinct is to go with the Revival, but at the same time, I don't think they should take the belts off the New Day yet. But my final answer, I guess, if I'm going to give you an answer, I would say that seeing as how the Kofi Kingston match is going to go the way I'm thinking it's going to go, I think they're going to keep the belts on the New Day.
Roll with the New Day.
I'm gonna go with the Revival. Them not having the Revival or the New Day on SmackDown this week, that like they didn't even make an appearance, so that was kind of weird to me. Normally they'll have something where somebody will get some heat headed into the pay per view. You kind of see that they don't really care about those belts right now in the whole midst of the New Day storyline and what was going on with Randy Orton and the Revival. Where were the Revival when Randy Orton was out there doing his thing, and where were the New Day to back up Kofi as well? So I don't know. I'm gonna just go with the Revival because I feel like those belts don't really mean anything right now. So it doesn't matter who holds them. I really didn't even realize that the New Day even had the belts. Honestly.
I had actually forgot when I was thinking. I'm like, damn, who is the SmackDown champs? I totally forgot New Day because it seems like this whole Randy Orton Kofi Kingston feud is overshadowing everything that's going on with New Day.
Right. Next up, we got the Raw Tag Team Championship being defended by Seth Rollins and Braun Strowman, going up against Dolph Ziggler and Robert Roode. X-Man.
I would like to see some I would like to see something arise between the two tag team champions, and then you have the Glorious One and Dolph Ziggler run away with a victory, and then that'll set them up nicely for their match later on down the card. So I'm going to go with Dolph Ziggler and Bobby Roode.
And I'm gonna have to second that, but I will say that I think Rude and Ziggler are gonna be transitional champs.
Hmm. I actually see Seth and Braun retaining, even if dissension does happen in the match. I see them having a blow up. Dolph and Robert trying to take advantage of it. Braun Strowman losing his shit and taking out power slamming Dolph or Robert Roode. I think Dolph's probably gonna take the fall. Him pinning him and then him and Seth arguing all the way to the back, but retaining the titles. I think that'd be a very interesting story. Um, Next up, we got the United States Champion AJ Styles defending against Cedric Alexander. I feel that it's too early for Cedric to get the belt, even though he is riding a wave of momentum, and they have basically been shitting all over the OC. I would love to see Cedric get it, but I think AJ Styles retains here because he kind of need. Normally, I would say AJ Styles is above a belt, but I feel like he needs to have a belt right now because he's Daniel Bryan status right now. He's just fading into the background.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think under normal circumstances that AJ Styles needs, a title to get over. But I think it kind of helps in this situation that he's in right now. As much as I would like to see Cedric Alexander walk away with his first championship, well, excuse me, never mind, he was the cruiserweight, so it wouldn't be his first. Um, I don't see it. I don't see them taking the belt off of AJ Styles. Plus, Cedric got the pin on AJ last Tuesday, was it, or Monday night
Yeah, he had
in
the
the tag match?
on Monday night.
Yeah, he got the pinfall. And under normal circumstances, whenever whoever got their hand raised on Monday night or SmackDown
On the
at the
go
Go
home.
Home show, they're on their back on the pay per view. I'm going with AJ Styles.
I would love for Cedric Alexander to win. However, yeah, I'm going with AJ on this one.
Hmm. The next match is going to be a very interesting match because it's the tale of two completely different styles. We got the Intercontinental Champion Shinsuke Nakamura defending against The Miz. I think this is where we really get to see what The Miz is possibly made of. Because honestly, I feel like this might be one of the biggest matches of The Miz's career. And
You
it's also
know,
an opportunity for him to break the record for most Intercontinental title reigns, and I think Chris Jericho holds that. So I could see the
yep.
Miz actually winning here, so they can erase Jericho from the history books.
And that's what's gonna kind of muddy this match for me. I
So I'm
think
picking the
that
Miz.
yeah, I think that Nakamura deserves to continue winning, but because of WWE's pettiness, I'm pretty sure they're gonna have the Miz win, even though Shane done beat him 3 times unanswered. He goes over on anyway. Never mind. I'm not gonna go on no rant on the Miz right now. I love his work, but I don't like what they're doing with him
Yeah,
at the moment.
and it won't be his fault.
No, it's not. It's not his fault. He doesn't deserve the title right now. They better not give it to him. But
I don't even know how he's
my
even getting
pick
the
is the
title
Miz.
shot. You said it the best. What has he done to earn a title shot?
Wait, I heard it's not somebody's fault. Did Snitsky come back? No, I really want Shinsuke to hold on to it. I can see why they could put the Miz over for it, but I hope they don't do it for those reasons.
So who's your pick?
Shinsuke.
Oh, okay. Next up, we got Roman Reigns taking on Eric Rowan in a no disqualification match. I feel that Eric Rowan needs to go over.
All right. Because it's a no disqualification match, Roman Reigns can absolutely afford to lose this. And I could see him and Eric Rowan actually going into a Hell in a Cell match at the next pay per view. If built properly. I'll
And
throw
that's
that
why
out
I'm
there.
saying Eric Rowan needs to win. Like he tried to kill this
Yeah.
man. Like this should not be a one and done resolve. Eric Rowan lays on his back and takes the pinfall. And since there's no disqualification, they really kind of booked themselves into a hole where you can't do the DQ finish. So somebody has to win. It's got to be Eric Rowan.
I think it should be Eric Rowan. However, we are talking about Roman Reigns here. So it wouldn't surprise me if they went that route. But I would like to see Eric Rowan come out with a W.
All right. Next, we got the SmackDown Women's Champion Bayley defending against Charlotte Flair. Charlotte Flair did pin Bayley on Monday Night Raw. Yeah. That means I feel Bayley retains here.
Yep, Evil Bailey for the win.
She grabs the tights. She gives her. She gives.
I see. I'm kind of torn in this match because I don't think Bailey is deserving of the championship right now. I don't want them to keep lining Charlotte's championship wins though with another one. I'm gonna go with Bailey.
Actually,
Reluctantly,
I,
reluctantly.
honestly, I don't see a finish to this match. This match is gonna end in a DQ. I think Bailey's gonna lose her shit and start beating on her with a kendo stick or a steel chair.
It could be a situation where Bailey and Sasha interfere in each other's matches and maybe help each other win.
I'd rather see the DQ finish. They're going to Hell in a Cell, and they're gonna, if they're smart, unlike past years where they just basically throw people in a cell when the feud doesn't even call for that. Let's go ahead and like actually make storylines where the cell would make sense. So I say, let's let the vicious side of Bailey come out, the side that should have came out when she had the kendo stick match with Miss Bliss, the side that should have came out when her and Sasha blew up. Well, we got to see it on that one night, but then they sent her to counseling. Yeah, I say Bailey loses by DQ, but wins and standing tall in the end. So I'm still picking Bailey, like to win. She retains. I'll put it like that. Bailey retains. Then
Okay.
Mustafa, you got your prediction already?
I did.
Oh, okay.
I said I want to see. I want to see Bailey with the W.
Shock you're not going for Charlotte Flair.
I don't see a need for Charlotte to have it.
Right. The Raw Women's Champion, Becky Lynch, is defending against Sasha Banks, the returning Sasha Banks, the evil Sasha Banks, the boss Sasha Banks. It's boss time, Sasha Banks.
Yeah, I'm going with Sasha Banks on this one.
I'm picking Sasha.
Even though I don't think she's going to win the title, I think she'll win by DQ or something like that. So I'll put that caveat in there. I don't see a clean win from.
You just don't want Sasha them sending the wrong message that you can whine and bitch and leave and then come back and get a title.
Right. That's part of it. But I mean, even storyline wise, I think it makes more sense for that match to end some type of way, just like you're talking about with the Bailey match in Charlotte. It should end in some shenanigans.
I already see what they're gonna do, and this is just tinfoil hat right here. They're gonna end up doing a tornado tag Hell in a Cell match with Sasha and Bailey both as the champions, because I'm picking Sasha to win here, and they're gonna be defending against Charlotte and Charlotte and Becky, and whoever the person pins, that's the belt that they get. So
Okay.
I see them doing something convoluted like that.
I definitely think that it would be bad form to give Sasha Banks the title, especially after an absence. But Becky is so stale right now. She is so stale.
I just thought about something. I'm changing my pick. I'm picking Becky because I forgot the video game is coming out, and Becky is the champion, and she's on the cover.
But she's cold right now. She's no longer hot.
Yeah, she's not hot right now. That's why I say she needs to be chasing. But WWE logic and just money logic is that she's going to be doing these interviews about the video game, and she's the cover. She's the cover star. So you want her showing up to these interviews as the champion.
So it goes back to my prediction. Sasha wins by some shenanigans, but she does get the title. Yeah. And that way you can do both.
True, that's it.
So, next up, we got the WWE Champion Kofi Kingston defending against Randall Orton.
Kofi for the win.
I have I have this match. I don't think there's going to be a conclusion to this match because I think if there is any feud that needs to be finished in a Hell in a Cell, it needs to be this one. I think this match needs to be thrown out, and they need to have the the end of this feud in a Hell in a Cell where Randy Orton takes it off of Kofi.
See the
See, I don't want to see Kofi in the Hell in a Cell because Kofi in the cage match he had not too long ago, not the greatest cage match competitor.
this is rough. Don't want to. Randy Orton doesn't need the belt. Kofi is kind of becoming stale to me. They already did the no finish match. That was the first match they had where Kofi lost his shit because he stared at his kids or whatever. So I don't know how you end this match without a definitive winner. I think Kofi needs to be chasing the belt once again. Like I said, I don't want him to be a one and done champion. I do think that he deserves a second title reign for it to really mean anything. So I would like to see Randy Orton take it here so that they can have something at Hell in a Cell to do. And they're going to use that damn cell. They paid for it. So, Universal Champion Seth Rollins defends against his tag team partner, Braun Strowman. With the winner going on to face The Fiend at Hell in a Cell.
On paper, I would love to see Braun versus the Fiend. I think that would be so much better than Braun versus Seth Rollins. However, we know it's going to be the Fiend versus Seth Rollins. So we know Seth Rollins is going to win. So let's embrace it.
I think that my dark horse is Braun Strowman. I don't know why. I'm not really sold on the Fiend challenging for the title. I don't. I'm not sold on that. I think that I'm just not sold. I think they need to stop playing around with Braun Strowman though. They're well, God damn it, I can't call this.
That's why I said they booked themselves into a corner with them setting up the the Fiend as the next opponent because any other time they're supposedly building Braun back up, and Braun should win the title here. He's lost all of his title matches that he's had. He's had 4 or 5, I believe, and he's lost every single one of them. He lost to one single F5 in a match. So Braun Strowman should win here, but then he goes on to face the Fiend, and the Fiend has to win if he's going to challenge for the title at all. So then you make Braun kind of look weak again. But I think
Well,
I think that would be the better promo. Would be the Fiend, would be Bray talking directly to Braun, like, "Oh, like you never took anything from me. I brought you to where you are, or whatever, and now I must destroy my creation, or whatever." I
the reason why I think it won't be Braun though is because I don't think right now with the Fiend you would really want an opponent like that that would be so physically dominant over him. Like I think right now on the road that he's on, he needs people that he can just whoop up real fast. And between the two, I think that's Seth Rollins.
I think more the story
That's why
with
he don't.
Braun would be more. I said it on. Well, I've said it before. It'd be more like the finger poke of doom that Braun has already had dealings with Bray, and he knows of the Fiend, but he doesn't know him as intimate as Bray. But seeing the Fiend there in front of him, the power that the Fiend would have over Braun would be the storyline. But again, like I said, you don't want to make Braun look weak. You spent this time building him back up after like the Bobby Lashley stuff that happened and the whole Seth Rollins stuff that's been going on, and them going up against Shane and like this entire storyline they've been telling over the past 6 months has been to build Braun Strowman back up into a monster, and then he's gonna go face another monster. So I say, so I'm just gonna say my pick right here. I'm gonna pick Seth Rollins to win, and Seth is gonna get destroyed by the Fiend, and I think Seth Rollins takes time off of television to possibly go marry Becky Lynch.
This is this is this is why I think Braun should win. Braun right now is in the same position that Drew McIntyre was in the last match against Roman Reigns. It's at the point where if he sustains another loss, you might as well stick a fork in him. I understand that Seth Rollins is the Beast Slayer, so it's not a far fetched. I don't know. It's not a reach to think that he can beat Braun Strowman storyline wise, but Braun would be looking like a giant scrub if Seth Rollins beats him. I don't, if Seth Rollins beats him, it's not going to be a clean victory. I don't know what may mess the match up or what kind of shenanigans will be involved.
You already know the
Or
same
maybe
way.
Seth will turn heel. I don't know, but he's not going to beat Braun Strowman clean. If he does, Braun is done.
And it's always, you already know how the match ends. It's going to be the same way that Braun's lost pretty much any match that he's been in. He tries to go for that shoulder tackle. He goes into the turnbuckle. He falls down. He eats a curb stomp. He eats a second curb stomp. He eats a third curb stomp, and then he gets pinned. I'm calling at least 3 curb stomps to beat Braun Strowman in this match.
You know what though? I wonder if they're gonna throw us a curveball with Hell in a Cell and Royal Rumble. What's the November one? Help me here.
November is Survivor
Survivor
Series.
Series. Yeah. So what if we see a Brock Lesnar return or something like that, and that's how Braun loses?
No, too soon.
You said
Because
Too
Brock is
soon.
probably due back.
But then you have the problem getting the belt off of Brock again. And do you go to the Seth well again?
what do you
Well,
mean?
no, I'm
Hold up.
saying he can.
What do you mean? Like you talking about Brock Lesnar shows up at Clash of Champions?
Yes,
That
to
still wouldn't
set
make
up
any.
something.
That still wouldn't make any. What would they be setting up then? Because the winner is going on to face the Fiend. The Fiend is the basically the odd thing here. So I said they booked themselves into a corner. Seth just beat Brock Lesnar. On paper, the Fiend is more powerful than Brock Lesnar, but Seth just won the title, so he's going to be a transitional champ for the Fiend. Because like I said, the Fiend has to win, or maybe the Fiend gets disqualified. Maybe that's the way that we go. Is the Fiend just gets disqualified, and that's how they get themselves out of this. But the match is a Hell in a Cell match. You can't get disqualified in a Hell in a Cell match, even though Mick Foley did a no contest in a Hell in a Cell match that didn't make any goddamn sense. So they booked
Wait,
themselves into a corner. There has to be a winner at Hell in a Cell. And so do you sacrifice Seth Rollins who you built back up, or do you sacrifice Braun Strowman? I say hell no, you don't sacrifice Braun Strowman because he's gonna be in the Big Show situation if he takes one more loss in a title match. He needs to win the title here. But he can't win the title here and then go on to lose to the Fiend.
What I was saying is the Brock Lesnar thing could be used as a distraction to take one of them off somewhere to do something different and then circle back around to Seth Rollins or the Fiend or whatever. I don't know exactly what, but I'm just saying that could happen because they probably got to figure something for him to do at Survivor Series.
But what I'm saying is no matter what, one of these guys is gonna win here and go on to face the Fiend. And you're damned if either one of them has to go and face the Fiend pretty much. But it's a lot worse if Braun Strowman is the one that has to go on to face the Fiend for his character.
Right. So Brock Lesnar could come out, take out Strowman. What's his name can win. He goes on to face the Fiend. Maybe they do a match between them two at Hell in a Cell, and all those convoluted bullshit that they can do.
Yeah, I get what you're saying, but then what's the point in Brock facing Seth because Seth goes on to lose to the Fiend at Hell in a Cell?
Oh, it's no point. But I mean, WWE, when do they make points? Sometimes they just do stuff just to do it.
Well, you already
Like they
heard.
have some reasoning behind it, but it doesn't have to make sense.
Paul Heyman has already told us that unless he's fighting for the title or unless he's the main event, Brock Lesnar's not showing up. So I don't know, and I don't see them putting Brock Lesnar in a match with the Fiend.
No, I don't think so. I don't. Again, Braun would look like a 100% scrub if the Fiend just took him out like it was nothing.
I mean, the Fiend is going to have to eventually fight one of these larger than life characters like The Undertaker, like Braun Strowman. Like,
well, I already said the thing,
but I don't think it's going to be now. I think right now is building him into a WrestleMania where we get one of those big matches, and even then, he still needs to go over.
Well, I already said my prediction. My prediction for this Hell in a Cell match is that I don't think there's going to be an actual finish. I think the lights go out, lights come back on, opponent is missing, The Demon Finn Balor is standing there staring at the Fiend. Lights go back out. They both disappear. And it's a bullshit finish. Fans will probably be chanting bullshit. But I think that's the only way that you can save Seth's character or Braun Strowman's character in this situation.
What you do is you have them both selling on opposite sides of the ring. You have the Undertaker and Kane come up from the bottom and suck them into the ring, and you never see them again.
You know, I really hope this. I really hope this pay per view turns into one of those where we don't think much of it on paper, but then they turn around and just completely just blow all of our expectations out of the water. I'm hoping that's what this case is
I don't think this
because
is
this is a very weird card,
I don't think it's a
weirdly booked.
I don't think it's a bad card on paper. The thing is that
No, the way they booked, the way they booked.
well, that's the thing. I don't mind. I don't mind it, but a lot of this is kind of like I said. They've booked themselves into a situation where, and it's not necessarily a bad thing where it's unpredictable. I don't want predictability.
True.
I don't want to necessarily know where we're going, but in some of these situations, it's like I can't see. Like it doesn't make any sense for certain for either direction to happen, for this person to win or for that person to win, because then where do you go from there when you have these gimmick pay-per-views where you have to use the gimmick? Is like now you have to book for that gimmick, and I don't feel like WWE has done that for Hell in a Cell for the past several years, or for Extreme Rules, or for any of these matches where they have these, like I said, gimmick matches. We know we're going into Hell in a Cell next, but none of these feuds are to the advanced enough to the point where it calls for Hell in a Cell. Maybe Sasha and Becky is there right now. Roman and Eric Rowan are there right now. Kofi and Randy Orton are there now. But the Fiend having a Hell in a Cell match with whoever, he hasn't done anything to either one of these guys yet. So that doesn't necessarily, it makes sense for his character, I guess, but as far as from a storyline perspective, it doesn't make any sense. So I don't know. But like I said, I'm picking Seth Rollins to win here because I don't want to see what could possibly happen to Braun. He just re-signed that contract with the WWE as well. So
Right. And that's why they shouldn't waste them. I mean, if Braun Strowman wins, he better have a lengthy run. But again, if the Fiend is the absolutely the next challenger at Hell in a Cell, if it's true, Seth Rollins is the better heel. I mean, is the better opponent, and I could see the Fiend taking him out. That's not what I prefer, but I could see it.
anything else?
Yep, that's all I got.
All right. Those have been your WWE 2019 Clash of Champions predictions. Go ahead and make your quick church announcement and give the people your social medias.
Well, speaking of champions, there's a pretty big deal coming up in about a week or so. This will be on the 20th of September, the fourth annual Showcase of Champions, where we're going to have champions from across the Midwest and across the Mid-South coming in to showcase their talent. So you do not want to miss this event. If you are in the Milwaukee area, you can get your tickets at legacyprowi.com. You can also get your tickets on the Facebook at facebook.com/legacyprowi. You don't want to miss this show. Actually, just signed another talent today for the show. We lost a guy. We gained a guy. That announcement will be made on the Facebook page in the next coming days. Chris Black is going to be on that show as well. Hopefully he doesn't take an L this time like he did last time. He lost against Devin August, and Devin August continued on to be the one of the two competitors to crown our first ever next generation champion. So, maybe get a W this time, hopefully.
He said people from Mid-South, so Jim Cornette's going to be there, right?
I would love to have Jim Cornette, but,
Man, that would be awesome. I just don't want him trying to shit on me.
Oh, I want to see Jim Cornette and Angel Armani go at it.
Oh, that would be gold. That would be gold.
Absolutely. They would love each other. Oh my God, get those two in a room. Oh my God. Wow.
I ain't got nothing for church announcements.
Go ahead and give out your social medias then.
All right, you can catch me at Xavier Mustafa on Facebook and the Twitter machine.
You can find me on the_natural_CB on Twitter. And I am the natural Chris Black on Instagram and Facebook.
And you guys already know what you're tuned into. Saturday Night SlamCasters. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe to us over on all the social media platforms, or all the major social media platforms, I should say. We're on Twitter, we're on Facebook, and you can also find us on YouTube. If you're listening to us, obviously right now, you are on YouTube, so be sure to just click that bell so you get the notifications, hit that subscribe button, and continue to share our content. And we also do a podcast every second and fourth Saturday out of the month. And you guys can find that wherever you get your podcast from. Add us into your rotation. Other than that, you've been tuned in to Saturday Night SlamCasters. Like I said, these have been your WWE 2019 Clash of Champions predictions. We up out of here. Peace. Come get slammed.